Welcome to the Link Up Podcast, and back for another episode, another edition. I play host, call me what you like. To my left, to my right, usual suspects. Not so much. Some different faces. He's rocking his hat, his gear tonight.
Made some trades. People calling the team soft.
Y'all still soft.
All right.
Shout out to Shamari too. Shamari watches the show.
We
Shamari.
finna find out.
Finna find out. Fins up.
Finna find out. Fins up.
So this is your season? Nah, because y'all say
every year is our year, bro.
Yeah,
They believe us, y'all.
Yeah.
Every year is our year.
Comfort
Can't
is
tell us no different.
a promise is a comfort to a fool.
Y'all lucky I had Tom Brady.
Nah, we made a move. That's all. Y'all could have had him too. Apparently.
He made a move.
Yeah.
Y'all never know. He made a decision.
Welcome to the Link Up Podcast, the one and only Salsa Papi, a.k.a. Saki Papi, a.k.a. Chris Garzone, the man himself from East End, Red Bay. Hydra. The 40 kids in Colombia. That episode got scrapped, by the way, so we can't even use it. All that content from last week was just...
Can't believe we, there's like 3 minutes of it. You could put that out.
Maybe. Yeah, 3.5 minutes, yeah. I want to get to this guy real quick. When he's on the way to a book signing. He just finished his thesis.
Street thesis, you know? Street thesis we're dealing with.
What's the hypothesis that you are trying to figure out?
You need rules and everything. Loyalty is important. Right.
That's the theory. That's the thesis.
We gotta take the glasses off, man. I can't take him serious with the glasses.
But I try and put a different side of me out.
Oh.
You know?
They watching?
You have to be dynamic, multifaceted.
Oh.
You know that sort of way, Chris?
Don't let them know your next move.
Exactly.
The one and only Bramwell. Welcome to the show, boss.
Thank you.
Good to have you back.
Thank you for inviting me back.
I thought you wouldn't come back after the last episode.
You had some people call you after the last one? Some people message?
I got some positive feedback, and I did make it get to me or make my head any bigger. But
But you back in the jacket and glasses and stuff.
Yeah, I changed it up because they didn't take me serious enough.
Okay. Well, thank you for braving the seat again.
You can't listen to outside noise.
Yeah.
That's the number one rule of being on air.
Yeah, when you're in the media, you gotta just lock it out and focus.
Yeah,
on
boy.
what you intend to achieve.
Otherwise, you're gonna be trying doing a million things. Everybody got the best idea for you.
That I know.
It's this dude in glasses. Anyway, long time coming. Long time supposed to be here on the pod from maybe our previous location, but we had to get it right for you. We had to get the paint, get the pictures up on the wall. I want to say one time Georgetown North duking it out over there. Georgetown North. This is what I have on your shirt over here. Can't say this is a
real friend.
What we about to get into?
Real friend.
Yeah.
Loyalty.
You may have you may have seen him on boards. You may have seen him calling into talk shows. Complaining, venting, offering solutions.
Spitting fire.
He says. Okay, hot fire.
Drag on.
The one and only Mr. Johann Moxam. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much, gents. Pleasure to be here. Honored. Riding shotgun with my boy Bramzilla.
No, he riding shotgun on you. You the guest.
I'm sorry.
Precisely. Get it right.
Yeah.
The
All of the
structure.
professionals. I'm
Get
just
the
grateful.
structure right.
I'm just grateful to be here to participate and drop some knowledge and what you guys do your thing. Looking forward to it. You guys do a fantastic job. Keep it all relevant. Keep it topical. Keep it fresh. And a lot of people listen and watch what you guys do. So mad respect and keep it coming.
Can you just say that this is not a paid advertisement?
No, this is not a paid advertisement. To
Thank
be honest with you, you guys reach a lot of different levels of society. Grassroots, middle income, corporate Cayman. Even those that can buy this place 10 times over, they're watching and they're listening to what you guys put out there because you guys seem to have the pulse. When you look at shows like Sandra Catron's daily show, that gets a lot of eyeballs. You guys get a lot of eyeballs, a lot of listeners, and it just kind of percolates from there, where your shows get forwarded over and over and over all the time. You guys did a fantastic job during the election season.
Oh, that was all Chris.
Really hit a lot of quality guests and topics, and so keep up the good work. Mad respect.
Appreciate you.
She just canceled the episode. No, that's it.
So we don't need to talk about nothing else now.
Any final comments?
Final comments. Thoughts? Thank you
Nah,
for tuning in.
Nah, we appreciate it, man. We appreciate it. We just trying to think, and we need people like you guys to brave the seats. It's not easy in a small community like this. So we definitely it's not lost on us, and we appreciate it. But next time we gotta come in our jackets and glasses, bro.
Yeah,
This feels like- Yeah.
different look.
And then you have to wear which person you voted for last election on the jacket. That's the
No,
game.
you can't reuse my style again. My style already
You
rough.
set the trend.
Yeah, but it's a one of one. Come on, man. Come on, one of one.
All right, so we
I just Mexico, you're civil servant. So
yeah, that's cool, no. What's up, Mr. Moxam? You didn't throw your hat in the ring the last election. That was something that we were kind of looking forward to, and you.
No, to be honest with you, we had some really good candidates put themselves forward. When you look at the collection of the new coalition.
Is he giving us the political answer? Right now?
No, I'm just saying.
You need some water, or
No,
drink, or
I'll
something.
give you.
Too tight, man. Unwind him.
I'll
Unwind him.
give-
Vic.
I'll
it's not alcohol, right? Yeah.
I'll give you the real thing.
Oh no, it's like can't.
It didn't make any sense to run, and it didn't make any sense to join a team, because if you aren't locked in and truly, and if there isn't mutual respect and harmony and consensus on the way that we're going, it makes no sense for the four of us to be on a team and then we onboard 2 or 3 people that we know are imbeciles. That just makes no sense at all.
Damn.
And I just took the position of, if that's where people are going to end up, I can afford to miss this dance, because I'm not going to stand up shoulder to shoulder, side by side with anybody that I know, one, they're not real, they're not sincere, and they're not doing it for the right reasons. So
see old part, I'd be like, yo, call names, but we corporate now. So
no, but they know who they are, though. That's the most important thing.
So why not run independent?
Because I think the last group demonstrated that the independent movement was not something that the country could get behind again en masse. Now, yeah, you could take the chance of running as an independent, but then you're going to get into that horse trading. And if you weren't comfortable enough to stand on a platform with certain people during the campaign phase, I would be a real fraud to then say, yeah, let's say I was successful, I'm now prepared to work with the same sets of people that I didn't think were about what I'm about.
Yeah.
Did you speak at anybody's meeting?
I spoke at Jay's meeting. I spoke at Peanut's meeting. Jay is J.E. Banks, Minister J.E. Banks. He invited me. I was there with Sammy Jackson and just spoke for a couple of words. I said a few words and effectively just tried to encourage him that under no circumstances did I think he would be doing the country any service by lining up with the PPM. That was not something that we need as a country, for all the obvious reasons if you look at their history. So I kind of put that one out there at his meeting. He didn't know that it was coming. I said, because ultimately he didn't need the PPM. The PPM needed him, but he would have multiple options because he was going to win come hell or high water. And you look at the results, it was a blowout, truth be told.
It was a bloodbath.
So there was that. Peanut. It's a tough situation because Alric Lindsay and I have been friends since I'm 10 years old. Went to middle school, high school, sixth form, the whole 9 yards. My children call both of those gentlemen, Gary Ruddy and Alric Lindsay, uncle. They're in my house. I'm in their house. I know them well. I just, again, I think Alric came out late to that dance. And then when you looked at what the machinery was like, Festa was going to have his support by virtue of the fact that he was a PPM guy. And the PPM machinery always shows up because they get the donations in and they have a truckload of money to spend. So you look at that and then you look at what...
Overspend?
That's another topic, to be honest with you. But you look at what Gary Ruddy did and the momentum and the overwhelming support that he had. It was going to always be rough for an independent like Alric to be successful in that race. And
Yeah.
again, I saw that if I ran as an independent, probably the same thing would have happened, because the country's gone past that wave now where they want a collective of, or a collection of independents to try and cobble together something. You know, right now you have a coalition, and it's the best of all circumstances. This group are solid, got some really competent people there, but they have mutual respect and a shared vision.
I thought he was gonna say they got some imbeciles on the team or something. Like he was, yeah.
The imbeciles.
It looked like it wants to come out of you sometimes, so you
Listen,
just can't help yourself.
no, it's
I saw how you said PPM earlier. I saw what was behind that.
The current crew got some good, experienced people, and if they can figure it out, stay united and remember what it's all about. Because the message of the purple team and the message of the
Turquoise.
Teal.
The turquoise team.
Turquoise, yeah.
Yeah,
They never call it teal? I think they said
the teal and the purple team, the messaging was exactly the same, or very similar on a lot of key issues. If you look at immigration, if you look at development, if you look at immigration reform, so on and so forth, they were same side of the coin, just trying to get enough numbers for their team. So them coming together, natural. When you look at what the PPM did and the decisions that they made, they hurt themselves badly.
Yeah, it's all talking about Chris people, bro.
Well,
I was gonna mention that too, because
well, what
this brother here, red. He likes
He
Superman
over
red
here fuming
all
right now.
over.
I remember.
But that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. you
Why
know?
did we invite them on the pod?
I remember watching one of your first pods, and my name came up, and in the background, the camera panned to Chris, and all I heard was ops in the building. You know what I mean? So I don't forget anything. I have the memory of an elephant, you know. So Chris is a die-hard red man. We get it.
Wow.
We get it. I don't hold it against him. You know. They are easy.
And he not even commenting, so you know it's real.
You got to give
He ain't
Jack
got
his
nothing.
jacket. The PPM are the best
What am I going to say?
organized on game day political party in Cayman's history.
Okay.
They have a solid machine. I was up against it. I saw it. When you look at the
Wait, so you took your
donations-
licks?
I knew what was happening, because you got to understand, they are so organized, and they get real money from real players on all sides of the fence, so that they're never short for anything. And then what happens is they pay way in advance. So you show up to the dance thinking that
Now
you
this
can.
dude, he's spitting it.
I'm talking the truth.
Don't
If
give
you
up,
look
don't give
at
up,
the-
don't
if
give
you
up
look at their-
Chris strategy, man.
You look at their ad campaign.
That's what Chris told him to do. Actually, he told him.
Chris is the smartest guy in the PPM camp, because some of the guys that got running the show now can't carry Chris's water. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is. But
There'll be a contribution link at the bottom of the podcast
We
for,
get- we get-
for 2029 for you.
yo, show the shirt again.
Yeah,
Doing this.
I'm like Clark Kent. about to-
come out the booth.
Yeah,
Georgetown North needs me.
not less than $5,000.
$5,000.
Yeah,
How you say yourself so sharp?
I
talking
want
about
everybody to be able
donations.
to
Oh, okay.
participate.
Okay.
Huh?
I saw they used the Obama method. That let's get 5 and 10s from a majority of people versus large. Like we want it all. Like if you can donate big or you can donate small. Like we gonna
Yeah,
collect it
but
all.
Cayman not that big, you see, and it's not that big, so we got to go up there to meet the realness.
So
Did you turn away any big money?
I turned away a lot of money, because I reserve the right to tell anybody what I think, when I think, how I think. And if you take money from certain people, they become your pimps. I don't have a pimp.
when you say large money, what are you talking? Like rough.
We talking 6 figures.
I just want a little 4.
So I
Talking,
won't,
talking shit.
I won't get over the election discussion quickly, right? However,
I mean, you in a
one
shirt,
of the
so.
one of the important things for me is the district councils. How long are we gonna give them to get this district council?
Did they run on
Structure
that though? Because some
in
of them didn't
place.
run on that.
That's I know business who run on what, right? We have talked about this. How much years now?
Yeah, but if you didn't run on it, you
12
can't
years.
hold.
12 years, and we agree do we agree that that structure is good for the country? Do we agree on that point?
I don't agree.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
If we being real, I don't think we like 19 district councils.
I wouldn't say 19.
Yeah, but
I would
yeah,
say
But that's what is constitutionally prescribed.
I see.
You come with this argument again? The Constitution can change in a blood?
He like rules when it suits him, and that's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Constitution says.
You know, that little documents, get rid of it.
Yeah.
No, I think it makes sense to go with 5 district councils.
But then you gonna have to infighting in the beat.
5? What happened to, you forget about little Cayman Braca?
Give him a 1 seat, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Michael Miles has just announced his district council for Prospect.
Oh, he putting one up?
They have a photo that's circulating, a little bit of story.
Good.
So
That's
I mean,
good.
maybe you're speaking it into existence.
Hustling.
But to Chris's point, though, if you didn't run on it, I wouldn't feel the need to put it in if I didn't run on it. That wasn't something I campaigned on.
That's a lot of work, Bridget. Because
You don't think that running the country is a lot of work?
But I'm not talking about from the politician. It's a lot of work from the people that have to run the district council. Because one, you have to find people that are dedicated to show up and do the legwork, and that's a lot of work. Going out there with the constituents, gathering information,
Unpaid?
and filtering that up, unpaid, and getting people to commit to that. We can't even commit to coming on the show on time.
So if it's that much work, how do you expect one elected representative to do all our work?
Yeah.
Plus what they got
Because
to
he
do.
paid.
He get paid stuff.
Come on.
He do that full time.
He got paid stuff. He has
And
a
he get-
constituency
and-
office
and-
that we fund as a
Yeah.
people, and all that.
I
I'm with you.
I hear you.
I'm with
I hear
you.
you,
And
but
then-
I just
But
I think it makes for better representation when we have consistent feedback from the
I don't
community.
disagree. But you're asking people who have real lives, 9 to 5s, families probably, to how much time are they going to give up?
How you're knocking it down without
Yeah,
having any
yeah.
sort of
Well, you know what?
data to go off of, because each district is 1,200 people. Yeah, the electors, let me put it that way.
Electors.
There might be more people in the district, but let's be real. We represent the 1,200
Yeah.
on paper.
If you don't vote, you don't matter.
Damn.
I support that. I support that.
I'm joking.
I know you don't. You mean that?
No, you don't vote, then shut the hell up.
What do you think, Mr. Moxam?
Um,
Hey, don't come back out here with some watches, man. Like, I see your watch.
no, I
I
think
see your brother with the watches too. You know what I mean?
Listen, I'm the least flashy of anybody that Zilla knows, put it that way. But I think there's some merit to what both of you are saying. But I think if we were to have an honest conversation with the country and to manage the expectation of constituents and try and frame up, this is what the district council does. This is what it's supposed to do, and here are the areas of focus. Because what happens is we have grown into a country whereby people assume it's your job to effectively fix their yard, fix their roof, fix their everything.
he cooking now. He cooking now.
I'm just saying it's not.
we need speed bumps on this road, sir.
Speed bumps
That's
is one thing,
that's
but
terrible, bro.
if your house has been leaking for 10 years, like at some point, and you drive a better car than Zilla, me, you, and everybody else, at some point, the focus should be, let me put something aside to try and fix my leaking roof or my flooding yard or something. Now, what has happened in Cayman is everybody talks about vote buying, but if you show up with marl and fill and lumber and all the rest of it, at what point do we reach the point where we can actually have an honest discussion and say, you are buying the support of that person because that person's roof was leaking for the last 6 months, 12 months, 5 years, and now you've shown up like Jesus Christ and you fixed the roof, and you're going to say, well, it's not vote buying. Well, what was it then?
Yeah.
What is it? Because to me, I think you help kids. I'll just give you an example in Georgetown North. What blew my mind when I ran in 2021 was there are pockets of proper poverty in Cayman, and there are houses in Georgetown, in districts, in areas, Georgetown North, where people have no internet, but the school is giving each child a laptop.
Yeah, yeah.
And so you got kids doing homework by using mommy's phone because they've gone across the street, sitting on somebody's porch because that man's house has internet and your house doesn't because your house don't have electricity.
Yeah.
I've gone into other houses where they don't have flush toilets. So and what blows my mind, I'm just going to say this. If you really want help and if you really want representation, you find that person that is going to help you get electricity, that's going to help you get a plumbing system where you don't have to go to out. I'm talking in Georgetown North in 2021, in 2025, there are people that don't have proper facilities, but yet for $1,000 you vote for an individual when you don't have the basic essentials to help yourself and your kids. That's what I mean about having a conversation, a proper conversation about what we need as a district, as voters, and what representation should be giving us. Because giving me CUC vouchers, giving me Foster's vouchers, giving me Water Authority vouchers, and $1,000 isn't anything when I don't have flush toilet in my house. I got a laptop that the government gave me, but my kids can't use it.
So that sounds like you endorsing the NICE program then.
The nice,
Nah, that's not enough.
No, that's,
No,
not,
no.
that's two very different things.
That's a Christmas program. No.
That's two very
Yeah,
different
but isn't
Also
that making you earn your way?
For 2 weeks out of the year?
But KB wanted to expand it, wasn't it? Wasn't that what the discussion is or the argument is?
Yeah, but I think today in 2025, the conversation that we need to be having is, given the precarious financial position that the government finds itself in, all of those luxury, expensive projects all need to be reevaluated so that we understand what the true costs are. Because wherever we find ourselves on July 2nd, 2025, the reality is all the decisions going forward are now predicated on the true financial position of where the government is, because the revenue that you collect in Q1 will not last you to Q4. So you cannot continue. There is a deficit. There's going to be a deficit. We just don't know how big that deficit is. So how do you commit to projects that really and truly take a boatload of money when you don't know how much money you have? Right? So again, it's...
But also too, the help isn't, it isn't truly genuine help. Sorry, I didn't say that.
No. You're absolutely right.
But it's not truly effective, because once that program ends, that person is still back on day one or as if nothing had happened. So
Listen, that's real talk.
we need actual programs that
So
are going.
when it comes down to people's welfare and their earning potential, the government has proposed, I guess they're putting forward an $8 and
75 cents, I think.
something.
$8.75 is
minimum
the
wage.
Yeah.
Some people happy, some people upset, some people say it's too little, some people say it's just going to cause further inflation. What are your thoughts on that?
Listen, the report was done. The previous administration sat on it, weren't prepared to implement it. From what I understand and what I saw in Parliament, the current administration seems to have collectively agreed that it's something that they're willing to pursue. For me, the bigger issue is, in doing so, how many Caymanians benefit? Because for me, and I'm just going to say this as a proud Caymanian, every decision that we make going forward, my first thing is how many Caymanians benefit. That has to be the driver to this, because if you've got 2,000 Caymanians that benefit, but 10,000 foreign nationals, work permit holders
Yes.
that are benefiting and they're sending that money home, that just seems, that doesn't make sense to me. But I will say, before we talk about a minimum wage, I think we need to get people to a livable wage, because there are certain fixed costs that are associated with your household in Cayman. So if we could ensure that Caymanians are getting a livable wage, and I say that, which might offend some, but foreign nationals on a work permit have proven they're prepared to share 4, 6, 8 people deep in a house, whatever, and because what they're earning is a better situation in Cayman than what they earn back home. So for me, every decision that we make going forward has to be almost a, how does the Caymanian benefit, and by getting to the livable wage. And then if we're going to increase the salaries for the work permit holders, that's a decision that, you know, we make. But my mindset is every decision that we make, every decision we take has to be predicated on our Caymanians benefiting.
I'm not gonna lie, man. It sounds like you're in the flat form right now.
Nah, I just talk how I talk.
You sound like you're in rare form. Good form, man. But I want to say too though, because that was a concern of mine when they did the report and they mentioned, you know, the number of Caymanians who would be affected by this, getting the minimum wage increase. I should say the majority was obviously work permit holders,
Right.
And that does sound scary when you think about work permit holders sending the money back home.
Mm-hmm.
But then I remember too, there's still a 2% tax on remittances, right?
Right.
Right. So we gonna get that money back in some respect. Is that not at least a plus?
Yeah, that's math though.
Fair.
Because I'm gonna give you an example. When there's a person on a work permit, if you look at in the Compass today, or you look in any of the newspapers, articles that come out, there's a foreign national who got in a fight, beat somebody up, caused serious damage.
Yeah.
The guy gets to pay $3,000 in fee and gets a suspended sentence. If a Caymanian was doing that job, gotten in a fight, I'm telling you that Caymanian is getting fired and they don't have a job. So I need for us to have, as a country, some consistency in how we apply all of those rules across the board. Because if Steve is working at John Smith Boat Company and Steve goes out and gets drunk and then decides, you know, I had enough, that guy's had too much slip, and give him 2 slaps around the head, I guarantee you Steve will lose his job. That's just the way it is. And I'm not embarrassed, or I'm not racist, and I'm not ashamed to say there's a sliding scale when you apply it to Caymanians.
I don't like that example too much. I think you
I
think you leaving out mitigating the circumstances.
I get and I'm not gonna
But
talk to that
the
specific
premise.
case, right? I'm not gonna talk to that specific case. But as you were talking earlier, Johan, what came to my mind was, do we need to have a change of mindset as individuals and as a country? And I'll use the specific point of 8 people deep to a house.
Mm-hmm.
If we change our mindset and we look at our journey through life as not being, I jumped ahead of what I was saying, but change our mindset. We're gonna use the minimum wage as a starting point. This is not the end point, right? So the minimum wage is a starting point. Based on this income, I gonna have to check my uncle, my auntie, and say, you know, can I rent a room in your house, or a version of that, right? Until we have gathered more experience, finished school, whatever it may be, gotten to a place where we are more employable, whatever that means, and we can earn more, and then we move on to the next step. Because I think somewhere in the discussion, we use minimum wage as an end all and be all, and I don't see it that way. I see minimum wage as a entry. Your mindset should be, I'm gonna move on to the next one, get more experience, go to school, do that apprenticeship, and push yourself, right? So that your mindset, and as I was coming here this evening, I was thinking about the whole topic of minimum wage and the mindset behind it and what being Caymanian is. And I think they're tied in some way, in that if your idea of what a Caymanian is to be excellent, the best shipman, the best fisherman from back in the day, to use that analogy, right? Then that sense of pride is built into your DNA from as young as you can be. So the minimum wage is just a number, is a starting point. But you know, you're not stopping at that minimum wage. You're going to be the best that you can be at whatever you choose to do.
Yeah.
And with that pride and passion, we come to know the immigration rules and saying that, you know, this is what it means to be Caymanian. You gotta be the best. You're willing to work hard, whatever it takes. You're going down fighting as a Caymanian.
Well, I wanted to say about minimum wage. My understanding to the starting point thing there was that it was said from, I guess, early on that the idea would be the minimum wage should be probably more, but you don't want to increase it by that much immediately because the economy would be shocked. And I guess they would suggest that the inflation would rise too drastically. Even though we've already seen the inflation rise drastically over the past 2.5, 3 years, to the point where even this minimum wage isn't going to probably provide a living wage for a lot of people. The minimum wage I'm not against personally. I think people should be allowed to live with dignity. They should be allowed to pay for rent, water, light, and some groceries. If your wage can't do that, then we don't have a real society that is helping the people. Now, granted, the people that are going to be on minimum wage that are Caymanian is going to be a very small percentage of the working Caymanians. The majority of Caymanians are middle class. So I know we like to say that the inflation prices are going to rise and then everyone's going to suffer, but we can, and I'm going to get some slack for this, but we can afford somewhat to absorb some of those costs so that the people below us in the lower class can have some
Speak for
dignity
yourself,
to live
man.
I
with.
was gonna say,
Speak-
bro.
speak
You
for
know,
yourself, man.
edit
Speak for
point.
yourself.
We
Edit
all
point.
we all
Edit
like to
point.
say that, but we all have these luxuries that we have that the lower class does not have. We have the luxuries to take trips away. We have the luxuries to go to brunch. We have the luxuries to go to dinners and sit down and eat out at lunch. A lot of those people don't have those luxuries.
Boy.
We have the luxury of being able to afford a mortgage, to pay electricity, to buy kids, Christmas presents. People don't have them luxuries.
We struggling with that. No, we saying you can't come take more from us. No.
But those things that I mentioned are all optional for you. Those are not even on the table for other people.
I see you saying
You're just highlighting your privilege by saying, well, we can't afford. Of course,
I don't
those are
agree with
options
that.
for you.
I don't agree with
I'm
that.
saying my pie is already at a certain size. I can't afford to be losing more of my pie.
But that's selfish.
How is that selfish? You go
Because the idea. So are you okay with people living with less?
Oh, damn, come on.
No, it's
Nobody's-
true.
nobody's-
Are you okay with people living with less?
Nobody-
The man just said. The man just said that that he been to people's house where they can't flush their toilets.
They don't have
So
running water.
are you saying that they don't deserve to have a wage where they can afford somewhere that can flush a toilet?
Nobody said that. I said don't take
But
from
this
my
is-
wage now to go. What you
But
talking
that's
about?
naturally what's going to happen, right? No, not everything is going to go up, but there will be some things that will go up.
You
a
have
bit.
some business owners who
Right?
will use this as a
Well said.
I am justified now. Let me jack this
Yes,
up. And
there will
still
be
and
some.
still do the same that they were doing before.
There will be some, yes. It won't be across the board. Obviously,
And get it twisted. I don't think it's gonna
And-
skyrocket us to extreme levels of inflation, going up by $2 because a lot of businesses are already paying more than $6 an hour.
Agreed.
so
I think it's more of fear mongering in that sense. But I do think to Bram's point is people are so down by the condition to Johann's point that they think this particular measure is going to solve and be a end all be all.
What does that work out to
when
per
it's
month?
just really it's a starting point for some.
Yeah.
And you need to aspire to continue to go further.
what's the working week? 37.5 hours?
That's the government one. People
That's
do that.
40 hours at a minimum or maximum. Sorry.
About $1,300 a month. You telling me people don't deserve more than that?
No,
Who said-
it's
you
not
see that
about
one?
deserve. It's not
Dude,
about
like-
deserve, Chris. It's not about deserve. It's about if you're doing a job that minimum wage is required, for lack of a better way of putting it.
But what is that?
All right. Let's
said
say,
you-
all right. Let me adjust the discussion a little bit. Then, if you don't mind, let's say the minimum wage is $15 an hour.
Come on,
Right?
you flipping burgers at McDonald's, bro. That's the U.S. thing in California.
Yeah. However, I'm trying to make a point. All right. Do you think, or can you justify paying an unskilled person $15 an hour to do an unskilled job?
Well, the answer.
Because that would then mean that
The
Hold on,
answer-
Steve, let Jesus talk, Steve.
For
Let
a
Jesus
skilled
talk.
person,
Let Jesus
you're gonna
talk.
push them up now to $30 an hour because they're gonna say, "Yo, I'm a skilled man. How you gonna pay me
Well,
$20, $5 more than
at the-
one man that not got nothing?"
At the end of the day, throughout time, over the past centuries or whatever, wages have not gone down, they've just gone up. So naturally, wages are not going to go back down. The price of goods are not going to go back down. If we go back 80 years, what was a livable wage 80 years ago?
I don't know. I wasn't alive.
It was pennies on the dollar, right? People were paid pennies. But obviously it was relative in cost, right? So we are at a time now where we have to look at what's relative to what we have. If it's 15, I don't know what the price is, but to your argument, does it make sense? If it's relative, then yes, it makes sense.
I come in for his paycheck to garnish his wages to go give back.
Johann looking at me like he vexed, bro.
No, I'm just trying to follow because if you look at it,
Cause he ain't making no sense, Johann. Just say it. Come on, you here in the seat now. You good? You one of us now. You can say it. Join in on.
He threw me for a loop.
Dog pile on
But
Chris.
I'll say this right. If you look at it from another perspective, right now wages are what they are, and we know what the minimum is now, which is what six something. But you have people and you have subsets within industry. Let's use construction, where a man who's a contractor, who's a carpenter, is still on $12 an hour today. Yet in 1995, he was on $12 an hour then. So there has to be a consideration where we look at industry in its truest sense, look at the subsectors within each industry and try to figure out what is a realistic and proper sort of hourly wage for the skill sets that you need. Because if a cashier is making the same $12 an hour that a carpenter is making and he's building your house, I think we got a problem with that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. So, if you're going to go through the exercise in the truest sense, look under every rock, turn every page in the book, and let's come up with something comprehensive that'll make sense for all. Because that money, when you give whatever the increase is, that money's fleeing Cayman. It's not going to be circulated in the economy.
For the lower class, yeah.
No, not lower class.
In our lower class?
I don't use lower class. I'm talking about working class people. I'm talking about whatever. And it isn't.
Wait, were you talking about the money fleeing Cayman? You're talking about the people that are going to
remittances.
be getting... Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. No, listen. Look at the basic math. In Cayman, there's 30,000 Caymanian people that are here. 30,000 multi-generational and new Caymanians. Then there's 35,000... 40,000.
Wasn't there
more than
40,000 work permit holders. So our 30 plus that 40 is 70, and you got maybe another 15 people trying to find their way. At the end of the day, you got to understand, by just looking at the statistics, the amount of people that are here doing the type of work to improve their life back home, that money doesn't circulate in the economy. That money gets sent back home. So
we getting 2% as it leaves.
We get 2% as it leaves, but then really and truly, we've increased the cost of everything. But how many Caymanians have improved and benefited from that process? That's all I'm saying, right? Unless you're going through a surgical exercise where you're looking at industry, subsector, and job descriptions all the way through.
I think that's being done already by PwC. They put out a report, an HR report of industry. I don't know if they do all industries, but at least in finance and the different sectors in finance, they will break down what the average and the different ranges are for different types of jobs. I don't know if it's done in construction and stuff like that. I don't have that knowledge, but there are people out there that are looking at the economy and evaluating it and doing cost analysis, or I guess wage analysis.
Zilla, you look like you're about to die.
No,
He gotta get to
Hold on, I want to ask you a question.
Every time you guys talk about minimum wage and you mention a tradesperson or a skilled person, I'm thinking about the cost of building.
He
and
is
how
you a
people,
tradesperson?
yeah, and how people are complaining about the cost of building, and the cost of building is high. Then you have a high, extremely high building code, and yet the insurance industry not reducing our insurance rates for real estate. So there's a disconnect, and there's a raping going on, and I didn't want to get on the soapbox, but it's something that's really, really
So let me ask you this.
born in my skin
So,
blood.
like, you have X amount of workers, right? over the past, I don't know, let's say 10 years, do you feel like your workers' wages have increased sort of with inflation?
Well, I've never paid minimum wage.
Okay.
Never. Even for the youth coming out of high school with nothing, I've never paid minimum wage.
Big clients.
Ra,
Big
ra,
clients.
ra,
Yeah,
ra,
big
ra.
jobs.
Big money with
Yo,
Hey, he did that real good too. Muscle memory. Like about 19. Okay, I see.
But with that, my expectations are high.
Yes.
So that's why I say the mindset of Caymanians, everybody across the board, should be one of we pushing excellence, and this is what being Caymanian is.
Yo, Bron, can I apologize to you on air, bro?
For
I gave you a ute one time, bro, and he just disappeared. Like, messed up.
that's
my
water
name,
under
bro.
the bridge. Water under the bridge. I learned.
I was
from the
so
experience.
excited. I learned too.
He would try and play Jesus.
I used to try helping you, man, and
No,
pushing
and
you
there's
forward.
nothing wrong.
He had a
There's
good
nothing
week or
wrong.
two, and then he just
Stop showing up to work.
flamed out, bro.
And you know what? I'd like to also big up this youth that worked for me last year for a couple months, Jim Taylor, the best Caymanian youth that ever worked for me.
Wow.
I could explain something to him. He would think about it, ask good questions, and if I had to tell him about the clot, right? Ask good questions.
Check,
he'd
please.
He'd go and execute. When he wasn't sure he'd come back. I rate that youth. I respect that
That's
youth.
another thing too, though, Bram. You talk harsh.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but this generation can't handle that. They can't. You can't.
Again,
fuss.
mindset. We getting too much pampering. Too much pampering, too much time out. And that foolishness there. How you think we build ships, Goldfield and them, you think said the man them what timing out?
They don't know. They don't know about that. That was
Exactly.
can somebody please tell Bram that he's a Jamaican? I don't know how the gold
Yo.
come into your head. To be honest with you.
Well, you know what to go for.
Tree son, Caymanian to the core.
Oh my
Oh,
Simple.
tree.
God. Thanks, Big Mac. Thanks.
Yeah. But nah, I'm scared for the generation when you can't. Yeah, you're not using my pronouns. You're not saying talking to me in a nice tone. I'm shutting down. I can't.
Man, we want man. It's man we are defend. We want some people with structure out that can defend the country. That's what I want to see. That's my personal passion and mission.
I thought you wanted to repair ACs. Are you talking about the country?
Well, that's just the process to get to, you know?
You finna work in
the end
either
goal.
one?
I ain't, yo, bro. Shout out to my friend. Man, he was gonna go somewhere today, and he was like, "Yeah, but you gotta rough it." I was like, "We mean rough it?" He's like, "Oh, the AC." I was like, "No, we're not." I'll drive. It's all right. Nah. So yeah, minimum wage. January 1, $8.75. Right now, it sounds like it's gonna be across the board, but of course, that's gonna probably show up again in Parliament. So maybe some changes, maybe some things are gonna be tweaked with it. We can expect some prices to increase. That's just a part of it. We have to pay our way. I mean, to Chris's point too, if each one bring one,
How many cost of living increases you got since you started working?
Not many. I can probably count them.
Last year you got two.
Hold on.
Last year you got two.
Hold on.
Did they get a little extra to
Hold
at
on
the end of
now.
the year?
Hold on
Before
now.
The election bonus?
Hold on
They
now.
never got that?
Wait.
Hold on now.
We
Hold on.
We talking about
Hold
we
on.
talking about the world class.
Hold on.
We talking about the world class.
Yeah, the world class.
Because private sector get them every year. This is built into the contract.
I don't know about that.
Let me ask you this.
I know the finance guy over here not talking.
Then we got more cost of living increases than the man did on minimum wage.
Actually, too. Now, what they said, if we was to actually get our real cost of living increases, it would be more than that 2%. if you really wanted to do the math,
I mean,
we do.
Tell that to them.
we do around 15%.
Government living large.
Again,
That money stays here though.
because we've spent so much money and we probably didn't use the right calculator to figure out what that was going to cost us in the long run. It's fair to say that going forward, no major decisions can be made until you understand what your true financial position is now, because all the big projects, all the big plans, all the bonuses, all the cost of living adjustments, you're seeing the cost of that.
So you saying Vic not getting no bonus this Christmas?
I'm just saying.
Election year?
I'm just saying.
Election year, you going to get bonus? What?
I'm just saying that we should manage the expectations of the Caymanian public by pointing out
I want to
that
say something so
the
bad.
deficit is real.
No, that's real.
That's really real.
We have a deficit every year though.
That's not true.
Yeah, but if you let's just talk about it holistically though.
I tell
Whatever
you, we had
position-
surplus.
Ah, red man. D, focus the camera. ISO on Chris. Tell him when they had a surplus, Chris. What year that was? With the 2-time?
Mr. Archer talking about.
Some fancy accounting or just it was a real surplus?
The man did what he had to do.
Okay. Don't get Johann over here fuming.
Now I'm just trying to like figure out how I get a ride or die
Supporter like that?
locket like that.
What do you mean you got this one out? Yeah, wearing the shirt. 4 years later.
That's my guy.
4 years later, he wearing the shirt.
And can't even vote in the district.
Condition too.
You know, he voted in your
Wait, say
district.
never won before.
No, I got two.
Man took it out the
There's one that I
plastic.
wear regular, and then I saved this one for you.
There's 2 more coming after the show.
You got to send Chris a shirt, man. Send him a Chris.
Joey never let Chris wear that shirt. So it don't make no sense. You know what I mean? That's his guy. Yeah, I get it.
Hey,
I get it.
we got Chris when Chris can't talk. We got him. It's a shirt.
Chris is like, how the hell did he get on my show? Joey, it wasn't me. It wasn't me, Joey.
I apologize, guys.
Vic did this. I don't know why.
I just came
I
in.
hate that guy.
We not scared to have anybody on. We have ever and everybody.
Yeah.
Would you suppose Diddy came to Cayman?
Right now?
Right? We
Right
gonna
now?
have to put some baby oil in.
Right now?
Oh,
Right now?
Little too early for that.
We want to make him feel welcome. You know what I mean?
How about too early? You never see his supporters at the courthouse throwing baby oil in themselves?
A second of that stuff. I only
Listen,
saw it on
after the
Reuters.
verdict came out, he had supporters out the courthouse literally taking off shirts, putting baby oil in themselves.
Wow.
Chris, how do you reconcile, given your profound support for the PPM, how do you reconcile
How did this turn into this?
the several projects?
We going to name this episode the PPM.
PPM by
and then put Johann picture on the front.
the Kool-Aid Club or something like that. Chris, how do you reconcile the belief that everything that they've done is first class, but they've got multiple projects where they committed multi-million-dollar concessions to wealthy developers right across the street from Kirk Supermarket, for instance, that will never be completed unless the PPM are in power because the PPM look out for their own. How do you
This is not my position.
This episode
is
getting heavy.
not
still.
my position to answer on that.
No, but I'm just saying as a supporter, you got feel.
But
I can
one,
try and change it. I
one,
can try and
you know,
change it.
They've been
stop,
on for
stop.
like they've been on for like
Bram,
two terms,
stop.
though.
Yeah,
Bram,
this is
stop.
what I'm saying.
Bram, stop.
All right.
Listen,
Ride or die.
I'm gonna stop this Normer now because
You know fun no more?
well because now he's asking real questions before we're making jokes. Now I really have to answer for this.
You're on camera now.
No, I really have to answer for this because he's
You
asking.
need a few minutes to talk to them, or are you gonna, we can
You
pause.
can go out and
So
get
anyway,
your
Go
talking
call
points.
Anyway.
him. Go call him. Get the script.
Oh my god.
Yo,
just saying.
I drove by and
Stop.
saw. Hold on. I can change.
No,
I'm trying to change.
I'm not changing
I'm trying
this.
to change the topic.
I'm not asking to change the topic.
Okay.
I'm
Take your licks, son.
Listen, one,
dolphin hot too.
I am not getting into any. How do I say?
Put a disclaimer in the bottom.
Political bias. One, because I have a job and I can't do that, so I can't even answer your question. Two, I've supported individuals previously. I've supported people in actually all four camps: independent, TCCP, CIMP, PPM. I've supported people in all areas.
PIMP.
PIMP, Steve. So, yes, we make these jokes, but now you're taking it like as it's serious now.
No,
I know,
it is serious. It is serious.
But then people are gonna
People
come,
gonna take it serious.
and I have a real job
Yeah.
that I can't have them thinking now
Fair enough.
that I am
soft.
biased.
He's soft.
That I have bias now.
soft.
You soft? You the one that fucking didn't do no interviews or an election? Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. I don't know what I sat out. Huh? I don't know what I put up the freaking jersey during election. I'm retired.
Yo, Steve,
Talk to me about soft.
Steve, see that?
So,
Everybody,
oh man.
But
my work here is done, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for me to go home.
But-
I've done everything that I needed to do.
Making me change the topic.
Nah, don't cheat me. Nah, don't cheat me. But we good. we
but
good.
no, but seriously,
5,000 views is what we're pushing off.
But,
of this.
Yeah.
5,000 views.
But yeah,
Chris
like-
sweating.
Well, I mean, I'm answering it though. I'm
They-
not running
no,
away.
no,
I'm
no,
not running away. He try and change it. I'm not running
Nah,
away.
Their employers
He run from it, man. He run from it.
Dear employers of Chris Grazon, he's a first-class professional.
Good
He's
guy.
really competent at what he does.
Yeah, real talk.
His choices in life about political affiliation and support.
Needs work.
Listen, sometimes you just make bad choices.
Sometimes
it's
you
like
get it
a bad,
wrong. You get
It's like
it
a
wrong.
bad girlfriend, you know what I mean, or a boyfriend. You just make a bad choice.
I'm not like he did sound a bit like, you know, when they say like to a racist, like you don't like black people, it's like I have 3 black friends. that's what he sounded like a little
That's
bit more.
exactly what it sounded
Yeah.
like.
No. We can
Yeah.
step off of that. I made
But
my point.
we love him.
I made my point.
But-
and I apologize.
Well, no, you're
might
fine. You're
feel like
fine.
one
You
shot,
asked you asked a real question. It wasn't like that. If we were like somewhere else, I would answer it.
right.
You know, but like I can't sit down here and show that like, you know, I have like bias
Favorites.
to, or favoritism to anybody.
No, the only reason-
and I've done that. I've done that with all parties, but so I just don't want there to come across that like, you know,
I get you.
I am.
No,
totally.
I get you.
But it is a running joke that whatever.
No, I
right?
wasn't joking, but I take
But-
your point.
Wow.
But-
No, not what you said.
We try and soften the thing. The man say he wasn't joking.
No. The reason why I say that is what my biggest problem is you've got groups that
Right.
get into power and they do everything else to help somebody from the outside. But if you were to try and build 6 apartments and say that I needed $100,000 off of something,
Come
they would
on,
never do
Johan.
that
Come
for
on,
you.
come on, Johan.
They would never
come on.
do that for you.
But Johan, let's be fair now.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, you riding red now?
I ride whatever colors. Man.
Just joking.
I serve the government. You're not being fair with that one. Come on, you a little sensitive. Six apartments
6,
compared to
10.
somebody that's putting down a 300-unit hotel, and you're gonna get government revenue tax every day
Okay.
because you got to rent the room.
I hear you. Let me
So I'm
ask
just
you.
saying, be fair in that
Okay.
sense. We're not comparing apples to apples.
Let's add context to that then. If you're going to drop 300 units, hotel rooms, condominiums, and everything else, you are building in the Cayman Islands, which is the jewel of the Caribbean, during a economic construction boom. Why are you looking for concessions? You have multi-millionaires, billionaires that are owners in this project, and they're getting concessions, but Steve can't get a concession. You can't build your 20 apartments. I can't get anything.
He,
but
see, he going up on the numbers now.
I'm just saying.
Can I ask a
But
question?
you're absolutely right. No, Steve, you building a house, a 2-bedroom in Savannah? No, you can't get a concession. No.
Well, let me.
If I'm building a 150-unit hotel on 7 Mile Beach, I might throw that person some concessions.
Let me ask though.
I get.
But
I get the argument.
are you saying that the no Caymanians get concessions for home building?
I'm not in the game, so I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know either.
Let me give you this real example. If I, as a contractor, is bringing in goods for a project or projects, I don't get the same discount or customs duty rate as, say, a big supermarket or a big
But that makes sense.
Home Depot type.
That's with anything though.
Yeah, we get
So here.
You buy bulk, you pay less.
No, I'm not talking about your first costing. I'm talking about what you pay on duty. The concession that was offered, and I saw this for myself, where me as the contractor, and I'll give you a real example, I brought in some bath exhaust fans.
Okay.
One shipment came in my company name, one shipment came in my personal name.
Oh.
The ones in my personal name, it was 15% duty. The one on the company name was 22.5%. I'm looking at it thinking to myself, wow.
Yeah,
Well,
we tax
I mean, like,
businesses, yeah.
I would, but that's with anything, right? When it comes down to even like banking with personal versus business accounts, you take it easier on the individual than you do the corporation. I mean,
Ask him if he learned his lesson. You learned your lesson?
I did learn my
The
lesson.
next one need to come in Steve's name.
put it in your name. But like that's just normal. You can't fault it for that. They're typically businesses can bear more burden than
How
the
do they
individual.
bear, how?
That's just the idea that you don't want to you don't want to punish individual. You want to charge
But you're
businesses
punishing
more.
the business
Well, hold on.
to have to pay
Hold on.
more. So
the
therefore they have
individual,
to
the
charge
individual
more
isn't bringing
to
things.
customers.
The idea is you're
The
making profit. You're
yeah,
a
exactly.
business.
You're making profit.
You're generating.
The
How- how-
individual bringing in shit. What are they? What
How
money
do
are they
you generate
making?
profit? How do you
Hold
generate
on.
profit?
Steve, stop.
By charging customers, right?
Steve, how's the individual making profit?
You're putting the business at a disadvantage.
No,
by
you're
making-
not. You're
by
being
making
taxed
the
to run to do
by
business.
making the individual
Me, they're
be
gonna
able
tag
to bring
team now, bro. Let's
stuff
go.
in cheaper.
You gotta tag it.
Yo,
Let's go.
You wearing my shirt? I got you, dog. Let me tell you. Let's go. Let's go.
No, but we
Let's
got
go.
no,
We
but
a
we
witness.
no, but we gotta be real. If someone is John Brown on the streets and you bringing in 6 funds, I'm not gonna go hard. Yo, put your 6 funds in your house or whatever you
So
gotta
what
do
you
with
don't
it.
say?
But
go buy
if
your
you're
six
but if
fund-
but if you're
go
a
buy your
business,
6 funds from Alti. Why you don't say that? Or Kirk. Or Bramty.
no, because it's your prerogative to go in and import them if you want. If you want your particular style from whatever US,
So,
I mean, bring
so
it in.
all of the infrastructure that I've put in, warehousing, hiring staff, trucking, all of that I've put in, I don't need to get. I don't deserve. I don't deserve
So,
some sort of
Steve,
break
are you
from
saying
the
you
government.
deserve to pay less than the working man?
I'm saying. We're
Answer
not
that.
Even. We're not even.
You shouldn't be.
I know what you're driving at.
because
But
Steve-
hold on, not the
Steve-
same point. I'm making the point to Vic.
If I
to
buy,
Vic's example.
if I buy some AC filters, they're buying them for me. If you buy AC filters, you selling them to clients.
What's your point, Chris?
You gotta pay a tax.
You
on that.
deserve to pay
You
more.
gotta pay a tax or not. You're making money. Your business.
Yo, you sound like a real crook.
Have you seen the football field by John Gray?
It's beautiful.
bro.
Yeah,
God, I drove by this morning. I'm thinking to
What you
myself.
change your subject for?
E.T., that's something.
I'm thinking.
No, man, pivot quick time.
Cayman should have world-class athletes in every sport and in academics because the amount of money that we spend on that kind
You
of
got some
that
good PR training, boy. I give you that.
Good one.
Damn, son.
You running 2029.
You never took some advice from him, or?
Listen, Steve's a different animal than me.
Go ahead, defend your boy, man.
You know the reason I can't run? Because I can talk
Tell
too
him why
much
the
truth.
Tell him why the
People
working man don't
like that.
deserve a
I'm
break.
not gonna pacify Chris.
We're not getting elected.
You're just a
No,
great
the reason
idea,
why you
Chris.
can't run is
You're
'cause you're
great,
yard.
Chris. No, you're not great. Get up and go walk.
Johann just said it though.
No, you can't run because you're yarding. Let's just
Yourself,
That's
man.
not true. That's not true. though. We got one with a stronghold right now.
He can't run.
He from Mexico. He got
there you go.
in a yard.
We got one with a stronghold right now.
You call him a Mexican?
He a Mexican.
Rotted.
My mom's from Belize, which is
Mexico. Which is
Wait, that is so messed up.
there you go.
Close enough. Close enough.
That's like when people call us Jamaican,
Yeah, Belize, Mexico.
Yeah, Mexican. They all talk Spanish.
but they don't talk Spanish in Belize, bro.
You could tell this man not left came around. You could tell. My God.
Yeah.
We getting canceled, boy.
Minimum
God,
wage.
damn,
check.
I getting fired from
So
my
speaking of
job.
Jamaicans and Mexicans, immigration reform.
Very necessary, long overdue, and I'd go a step further to say that, immigration reform, we need to have the ability that when somebody shows you who they really are, that we can invite them to, you've lost that privilege. Because a lot of people are fantastic during the process. A lot of people might pretend to care, but as soon as they get that winning ticket, you then see a different side of them, and there is no effort anymore. I'll give you an example. Somebody shows them, why do you guys eat turtle? Oh my God, that's disgusting. Oh my God, why would you eat turtle? First of
Why
all,
you eat mayonnaise?
That's some nasty shit.
my point is, you don't need to understand it, but you need to have respect for what you found here. Now, as Caymanians, we need to also understand that not everybody comes here means you bad or is out to get you. But when we find those that are coming to Cayman who show us who they really are at their core, they, with the proper process in line, should face the possibility of losing the right to be Caymanian. Because
I agree.
we do not need to incorporate bigotry, racism, intolerance, and just bad mind people. We have enough of that of our own.
I was gonna say
we have enough of that of our own. So I just don't understand where somebody looking and go, well, I'm Caymanian now. Yeah, that's great, but you can lose that privilege, because if you can lose your green card and your citizenship in America and in the UK and in Canada, how is it nobody ever loses their Caymanianness here?
You never hear about it.
Ever. But my point is, that needs to form part of the entire immigration reform thing. Immigration reform, it's too easy to get a work permit. Your friends in red made it really easy to get an LCC.
He couldn't help himself.
to get an LCCL. Everybody and their dog now has a local controls license, a LCCL.
Give me the background again.
Basically, remember before to form a company, you need to have Caymanian participation. And LCCL says that John Smith from Canada can come in and he can now have a company and he can do without any Caymanian participation at all and just set up and run. Now, the people that get that, a lot of the times they understand who the movers and shakers are. So we know Steve's a mover and shaker. I have a LCCL. I do in a project. I can make sure Steve is all right. You know why? Because he's helped me get to that stage. And so what I make, he makes, and so we go from there. That's an extreme example. But the point is, it is too easy for anybody to show up, apply for an LCCL, and get it at a time when we are looking at or considering immigration reform. The global entry program as well. Remember during COVID, you could come here, you had work, means, you put down some money and you got Caymanian PR by virtue of means and so on and so forth. We've reached a stage in the islands now. We don't need to facilitate that any longer.
You and Chris would agree on that. He says turn the top off. That's one of
I use the analogy that the Cayman Islands are a basin. The water are the people that are in here. And we are at the point now where the basin is getting filled. So we can afford to turn the tap down a bit until we can build a bigger basin or whatever, if we want to, right? Because right now, our infrastructure has been superseded. Mm-hmm. Our roads are not where they should be. The housing is not where it should be to facilitate the growth that we are experiencing.
Agreed.
And that is causing this, part of that is a contributing factor to the inflation that we are facing and the shortage of homes that we are facing. So also with I guess that's all tied together. So I do feel that it is okay, and there's nothing that is xenophobic, racist, or discriminatory. Well, I guess it is discrimination because that is immigration inherently is discrimination.
Yeah,
we
there's
choose.
nothing wrong with being.
No, there's nothing wrong. But I'm saying like immigration is literally we choose who we want.
Yeah.
Right. That is immigration.
But that's our right, though.
And that's any country's right.
Right.
Every country. I'm just saying like I was gonna say it's not discriminatory. It is. Immigration is meant to be right. And so we're doing like. Well, anyways, I'm gonna get into that.
No, I'll just 30 seconds. In corporate Cayman, there's the belief that you are entitled to a job or that you have security of tenure by virtue of a job. But there's nothing in your contract that says that Steve's going to be here for 7 years, 9 years. Steve can get fired after 6 months, 6 years, whatever, and Steve's got to go, so on and so forth. So all I'm saying is the people that show up that are of the belief, I've got a job, I've got this, I've now got security of tenure, and I just have to tolerate persons that are from here in order to get to the PR application stage, to then get to the, we've got to do a better job of understanding and saying, we want to live in a country where we can laugh, we can joke, we can do whatever, but be real about who you are and what your intentions are for us and for the country, because Caymanians not really the worst people in the world, you know. Yes, we have some frustrations. Yes, we can be tricked on the trigger, you know what I mean? But we're not bad people, we're welcoming. But I see a lot of people getting taken advantage of, and I just look at it and I'm like, every other place I know has the right to send you home once you provide evidence that this person is of poor character and does not mean well for the community. But in Cayman, they're still here.
So I have a question, because I'm sure all of us have probably written down or vouched for someone to get PR. And
you're welcome, Steve.
So aren't we as well partly responsible?
No.
For letting in some of the bad characters, because someone had to vouch for them.
Bro, I gotta tell you a story. This happened to me. Had a good job, I'm not gonna name the company. Was working. We employed a law firm, so on and so forth. I've had multiple people that I only know in the commercial space reach out to me and ask me for a reference for their PR application. And I varied from not answering the email to not answering the WhatsApp message or BBM message to when I see them asking them, are you on drugs? I've never been to your house. You've never been to my house. We've never shared a meal. I know nothing about you. You obviously are failing in your responsibilities of interacting with the community if I'm the only local that you know. But there are people at work. Now, I was in a managerial position, a senior position. There are people at work in certain jobs that feel or are pressurized into, I need you to write me a reference. If you are hanging on to your job and you don't have the cojones or the intestinal fortitude that I have to say, man, try to get out of my face, or thanks but no thanks, you feel that if I don't do this, something bad could happen to me. And I'm just saying, we have people like that. How do you apply for PR, status? How do you get these things and you don't know any Caymanians?
Well, that comes back to my point about having a deep core perception of who you are, what you stand for, what it means to be Caymanian, and don't have, and to put it in the context of the workspace, if you know that you are doing excellent, you're hitting all the points in your job, and a man will fire you, say, all right, cool. I know I'm employable. I go in somewhere else because I know I'm good at what I do. But you have to have courage and you have to be willing to put in the work so that nobody from nowhere else can come and tell you and push you around. Because that's the mentality I have. You're not going to come from nowhere and come tell me it's my job.
It's easy to talk like that because that's how you are, but not everyone is like that.
I get it, but...
And not everyone has that makeup.
That's what we should be striving for.
You want us to move Caymanians to that, is what you're saying. Oh.
But
from the lowest, from the kid in school supposed to know that the Cayman flag is the Cayman flag. We're not ramping with that.
Nas, I can.
Straight up.
I know, I can't.
Be what I want.
I feel motive. I'm messing with you, but I get it.
Caymanian.
I feel motive. I feel you.
We're going to do that video. Me and Peanut going to do that video.
So with immigration now.
Yeah. But to your point too, though, Chris. Sorry. To your question earlier, should we bear some of the brunt of it? And I get what Johann is going at in terms of we should have discernment.
I was going to get to that point he brought up too.
But also too, people be lying, bro. And
1,000.
People will show us a face. This is how I interact with, and granted, you should probably get to a point where you can discern whether or not this is the person's genuine character. But we do see people come here and don't want to leave here and will do whatever it takes to solidify their position. And then once they get it, it's mass off. It's now I'm
Yeah.
You know, because we see them walking the dogs in society. Could give about them dogs after the fact. But once I get myself to solidify,
They do junior achievement just to get the points. They don't show up.
Buy the place.
I actually had that happen to me. There were a couple of people that I worked with, and they would join Junior Achievement strictly for PR, right? They would only come to like one meeting a month, one meeting every couple of months or whatever. But at the end, their name is on there. They showed up, participated.
And at the banquet, you show up at the Junior Achievement banquet.
Yeah, well, if even. But, you know, and it got to the point where, and I kind of got in trouble with it, but my boss supported me at the time, and I was very thankful for it. And,
What kind of trouble? What's
well, I said, you know what? I don't want us to advertise anyone coming in. I want to handpick everyone. Since I was lead advisor, I want to handpick the people that are going to be advisors.
good for you? That's brave.
I
Courage.
did it for about 2 years, and then word came down from the execs that I couldn't do it no more.
Well, let me give you an example.
So you didn't fight?
There's the other side to that equation. We were talking about those that really and truly put on a mask to show us one side, but they do something else. But there are many, many, many good people of every color, shape, and size
100%.
that have come to Cayman, made it their home, and understand the essence of being in Cayman, have become Caymanian, and really and truly, their children are
This
now
is home, proper
This
home.
is proper
It's
home.
home now.
There's
Yeah.
nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
They're not interested in going anywhere, and they live with us as if they've always been here for 10 generations or whatever it is. And those people, I extend as much respect and acknowledgement as possible. My problem is we don't have as many as them as we used to, because now Cayman is about the economic migrant
Yes.
coming here,
Yes.
doing well, because in certain industries, financial services in particular, you can make a boatload of money pretty quickly if you understand the game and you strategize accordingly. But then the reality is we're not interested in having a conversation about anything that is Caymanian or in the best interest of Cayman, because as long as this place can print money for them, they're good with it.
Yes.
But what bugs me is it's okay for me to call somebody mindless or an imbecile or whatever, but you don't even know that person. At least I have had an experience with an individual for me to conclude that that person is an imbecile.
Yeah.
They just do it because the person's local. And that, I think, is wrong, because you can't paint everybody with the same brush.
Let me say what I think why we're in such a unique situation versus many other countries. Is this wouldn't be such of a big problem, and I don't think that other people, the bad apples, would feel so empowered to feel the way that they did if we made up the majority of the population. If we were like 80% of the population, they were 20, you are gonna assimilate a lot more quickly, because you can come here as a foreigner, and I have this running joke that I say you start hitting the expat bubble. You're in the circuit of all the bars and clubs or whatever that only, like, the majority of people that go there are expats, right? Because when I go out, it still happens. People are shocked that I'm Caymanian, or that they meet a Caymanian, right? I mean, they meet them, but like it's not as frequent as it should be. When you go out to certain places, the majority of people you're going to see are not from here,
Right.
and that's just that's the dynamic of our country. And I feel that if we never had that, then we probably wouldn't face some of the immigration.
You talking about the ratio, right?
Yeah, the ratio.
Oh, no, but it's more to that.
We wouldn't feel as much of because a lot of the sentiment is we can't see any of ourselves. It's being taken over. They're outnumbering us. Those are the expressions that you hear on the radio and the comment sections and such like that. And I do feel that if there were more Caymanians, and so obviously that means that the majority of the the labor market would be Caymanians, you would probably see more Caymanians and more high-paying jobs, yada yada. There's a higher chance of it. Not to say that it's guaranteed, but the probability would be higher. But we have this unique situation versus any other Caribbean nation that we are the minority.
Before you get there, though, to add on to that, though, it's more than just the population ratios. I think it's also we've sold them a dream as if we need them, and to some extent we do. But they really come here entitled and thinking that they're the best thing since sliced bread. That no one else can provide this financial service. No one can work in this industry like this Australian, South African, whatever it is. I think that plays a part.
Well, it's multivariate, and it's not single.
No, of course. But I'm just saying, I think we've done ourselves a disservice by begging and groveling at the door for, even to your point about the pay for residency thing. We were in need, and we need you to come and invest in our country, and we're going to give this to you in return.
Yeah.
That creates a sense of entitlement, as if, when I walk around, my chest is high. Like these poor, what's the word? Like savages, locals, like they need us. Without my, investing here, this would never take place. This would never happen.
Michelin star tonight, boy.
No. Yo, shots fired.
My boy chefing.
No, shots fired, because the best example of that is you're walking along 7 Mile Beach. You're just putting in a sweat. You're not doing anything.
Not bothering nobody.
You're not troubling a soul. But you go too far up on the sand, there is somebody that's going to tell you that they bought a condo and they bought access to the water's edge, and you're looking at them like, wow. And then they get demonic with it. And that's why we're here, because you guys need us. And I've watched that. It's never happened to me.
Yo, let me read that comment. You just reminded me of
I've seen things like that happen.
So, I'm at the DG. Is it DG? No, I'm at the Flower Sea Swim. My son is invited to go swim, do a little 25 meters or whatever. We hike. People are on the beach. Obviously, it's 1,000 people or whatever, some crazy number or whatever. In the condo, the security has to come and tell, the owners are upset and they want you guys to come up off the wall. It was a stone wall.
That should have been me.
I didn't move. But I'm like, fam, it's one day a year. We're out here for a charity.
Dude, I'm not even justifying it like that.
But
I'm not justifying it like that.
I felt bad for the security. I'm like, bro, I know you're doing your job, but don't even come with us.
Exactly.
You mean some of them owners can't... I can't remember the name of the condo.
It don't even matter.
It might have been Village of the Galleon. I'm going to call the name. I think it was Village of the Galleon.
It don't even matter.
Really chefing today.
Nah, we chefing. Yeah. We poured him on.
Talk the truth.
And that's where it comes.
But that's what I'm saying.
You have to be so pro Caymanian that a man going to be afraid
to bring
say
it to you.
anything to you. I'm not saying you got war, you know, but if you want war, we warring. For Cayman.
Nobody was over the
Out
wall.
of one many, Steve. Let me tell you, Steve. Out of one many.
I was just
I love it. I love it.
It literally was like 3 in the afternoon. And I'm like, yo, y'all can't let people sit on the wall for.
But that's
Been
exactly the
lucky.
point that I'm making.
Yeah.
Something as nonsensical as that gets extended to some even more ignorant situations where you're not troubling a soul. There's obviously a group event. This flower swim happens every year.
For decades.
Once a year.
And you got a problem with somebody being on your
Beach. Your
beach
son.
or in your water in front of your,
So when you talked about there's a certain segment of people, a few of the bad apples.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say a few because
Yeah.
I think the majority of people are good-willed. When the immigration bill was announced and what was in it was announced, I'm assuming this person was a PR holder, or I don't even know if she had status, but she made a comment, and it said, "So people that have plans to retire there, build a home in KY, and not just buying land, would invest in KY by spending their retirement money. They will not want to build there!" Exclamation mark. "I know this will change my mind about building there. Maybe I can sell and invest my earnings somewhere else." You, in all caps, you wouldn't even be there if it wasn't for my, in all caps, forefathers finding Cayman.
Whoa.
we'd encourage her to go and
Invest somewhere else.
That's taking money and go somewhere else.
Yeah,
Daddy. We
Cayman
wish you
is
the
a
best.
very expensive place.
We wish you the
probably
very
get a
best of
better
luck.
ROI. by
But
going
that
somewhere else.
mentality is what you were speaking
It's
of earlier.
prevalent. The reason why I bring it up is because it's prevalent. And what happens is,
I was just reinforcing that you wasn't talking.
no.
That's real. That's a comment on
Nobody
one of
need-
our prevalent, or prevalent, on one of our prominent news stations.
Chris, I might not be everybody's cup of tea, but I speaketh the truth. And I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of anybody and the situations that happen to me, because this is what I get a lot. You're different. And I'm looking around thinking, do I have like a third eye in the middle of my head? What makes me different? Oh, it's because I've lined up on the same side of you on a particular issue. So I'm apparently good now because we're on the same page.
Yeah.
But I'm threatening because when I respond to somebody, well, you didn't have to respond like that. First of all, my ma, my pa, and I grown, and I'll respond to anybody how I see fit. But that's the problem that we've got. People are Caymanian by convenience, and people are friendly with Caymanians because that Caymanian is useful. And I would just say that we as Caymanians have to do a better job of understanding ourselves, being respectful of people. But when we are met with what I can honestly see as nothing but dislike and disrespect, respond accordingly, stand your ground, and every Caymanian in the vicinity lock
Support.
arms and
Support.
support. Because
Yep.
that individual there, I don't know who you are, lady. I wish you the very best of luck in life, but you can take all your shillings and go back to where you come from, because you're not doing any of us a favor by being here. And if we do this at the workplace, and I'm not talking about unions and rioting and whatever, I'm just saying, if Steve's at work and Steve's got a personality disorder, and and he does, and Steve is getting some flack, instead of us going, boy, Steve, I don't want to get involved. Yo, Mr. John, Steve's not really at fault for this, And if everybody was just to understand strength in numbers and courage is contagious, we would not be treated the way that we are, and then we would not look like we are lepers or some sort of second, third class persons in our own country in 2025.
I will say I was around a conversation that was taking place with several expats, and
Were they pretty?
He can't answer that on the pod.
it was like one female, like three guys. And,
Was she pretty?
Still trying to get in my jam up.
But one of the guys there was, I don't want to say he's a bad apple, but he had a very bad mindset. He's a decent guy, but he clearly I guess he might be a bad apple.
Call him a bad apple, Chris.
He trying not to.
He
finish
still got work
But-
with that guy.
No, I don't.
okay.
I never worked with him. This was just at a casual, just like at a bar or something. I can't remember where. We were somewhere casual, and the argument came up about the expat. This was years ago. This was like 2018, about expats being here in Cayman, and they're kind of some of them that have the entitlement or whatever. And his argument was, well, they need us. Was his argument. And then before I could see it, the other expat was like, well, they'll just replace anybody that leaves. Like, Cayman is like, it's not like it's like, somewhere that people aren't dying to come, right? Like, you think that you're special, that you can't be replaced is what they were telling him. Is like, because he had this thing in his mind, like Victor said earlier, like, they the shit. He had this thing in his mind, and the other person kind of put him in place, and I kind of just sat back and listened. I was like astounded, like, okay,
We need that as a tagline.
you start cooking. Yeah. But yeah, like it's like we're so scared to do things as if people are not going to come here anymore. Obviously, there's a balance to it, but let's not think there's not a million people that are dying for a CV to be opened up on someone's desk here, and they can fly down and live in paradise.
Facts.
So, we have a product that people want. We have to manage it properly. We can't pretend like, it's going to be like this, like if we don't take care of it, but we can take certain liberties where we are to be like, no, this is not what we want.
Okay, but let's dive in further into that. In financial services, the financial services sector, we will never produce 25% of the total number of lawyers that are needed.
100%.
We will never produce 25% of the accountants that are needed. In the reinsurance industry, we'll never produce 10% of the actuaries and insurance professionals that are required. So there will always be jobs for people here in paradise. Tax neutral jurisdiction, relatively safe. You're not restricted from anything in any way.
Great
we have
infrastructure.
great infrastructure. We have an open immigration policy. So there's an opportunity for them to make Cayman their home if they want to. But my point is this: there comes a point where we got to understand the decision makers and those that draft the laws and those that are in the administrative departments. When somebody shows you who they really are, whether it's good or bad, believe them and then act accordingly. Because in Cayman, no one ever gets sent home. A Caymanian gets fired for having too much lip, and I don't like your attitude.
Cayman kind.
But realistically, the bad actor in the workplace that has legitimate issues with locals, they're never held accountable in any way, shape, or form. So at what stage are we going to, and I'm not trying to be a radical in any way, shape, or form. I'm looking for an equitable solution, and I'm looking for a system that is fair, whereby we build a country with people that deserve to be here, that want to demonstrate respect, kindness, and build a country together. If you're here thinking that every Caymanian is an idiot, we need to start with them by, John, we need to have a conversation with you, John.
So you know what we need to start doing though? We need to do like Big T.
What's Big T?
What's Big T?
Big T. We need to start checking them socials.
Ice in the building. Ice in the building.
So when that renewal come up, Hanovia socials. Yeah,
That only happened in the construction industry, man. That don't happen in financial
let's see what you've been
services.
talking about, man.
No, I'm going to give you an example why I worry. Our little one, he just turned 10, right? So he's been playing football forever. And I think sports is where you can build a community.
Absolutely.
But what happens is on both sides of the spectrum, you've got locals that not really interested in gelling with them, and you got them that definitely not interested in gelling with locals.
100%.
And so when are you supposed to build or a product and the platform for these kids to understand we just kids? Because you start seeing it in the competitive sports arena. Now, not everybody shows you their prejudice, but a lot of people do in the slightest way.
Of course.
And when they show you that, We need to be able to say, yeah, Steve, we don't need your help, to be honest with you. I don't care how good your kid is. We don't need you coaching the team. Because if you can't just see kiddie sports for what it is, which is a kick around, a good, sweat and fellowship, and this is the World Cup final for you, you got the wrong mindset. Because they're kids. Kids don't understand color. Kids don't understand the social structure and the social hierarchy. Coaches do.
I saw that. To your point, I saw that when I was a coach in Little League. There was one particular. There were two special years for me, but I'll start with the bad one. There was one particular year when I was coaching, and it seemed like the troubled kids were sent to me to deal with, and it appeared.
Can you speak their language?
Like.
Because you want them, though.
Yeah, it appeared that, they were all mostly local.
What?
Right.
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying as I saw it. But on the flip side of that, I had an amazing year where the sponsor was a foreigner, a foreign company. Both principals of that company were coaches and assisted with the team. It was magic. Johann can speak to that year. That was a special year. I understand when you see the big leagues talk about a special team where everybody gelled and it worked well. That year was a good year. And I'd love to big up the company, but I won't because they're not paying. But I have had both of the experiences where there was a separation.
Yeah.
So I've seen that for myself, Johann.
So now that we're shifting the pendulum to talk about and highlight the good apples, because I think that's where we're going now. I think especially in the organization that you helped out during the referendum, that was comprised of quite a lot of expats we've had that have done great conservation work over the years, whether it be through donating their time. And there's a lot of them that are die hard, they believe in the beauty of this island. They believe that this island needs to preserve its God-given nature and protecting it. They truly believe that. And I think a lot of them, they probably believe it more than a lot of us. Because I think, I say it all the time, a lot of us do not, I don't feel that we appreciate it as much as other people, because they've never had it. So they come here and they can be in awe of it, where, we take the beach for granted because it's just something we always did, a lot of us, right? A lot of us aren't divers. A lot of us don't snorkel, We fish and stuff, that's very Caymanian, but in terms of going down and actually appreciating what is under the waves, I don't think enough of us participate in that.
True. Well, just to talk about the organization, CPR effectively was made up of every type of Caymanian, those that have been here 7, 10 generations, those that have been here for 30 years, 40 years, some new Caymanians, and their thing, if you look at what the messaging of CPR was, is environment, infrastructure, and the impact of what was being proposed on the poor infrastructure of the country. And then you had people like me that just looked at numbers, because if somebody tells you they're going to build you something and you don't have to pay for it, that's a lie. That project is a $350 million project. Somebody paying for something. There's no cruise line that builds anything for anybody for free, right? But the point that I'm making is where the movement was successful in comparison to the government's pro-port position, and also with the agencies that they supported, employing Elio Solomon as the head of ACT was a masterstroke for us. It was a gift from God, because if there's anybody that's going to destroy the car and take it off the rails, it's him. He is the lightning rod that will tell you all white people are horrible. And he said it, and they didn't get it, and they didn't understand. And I'm looking at this going, Wow. I guess we don't have to debate them at all, because once somebody takes a drastic position like that, what is your rebuttal? There is no rebuttal. I'm not going to waste time talking to you about something as ignorant as that, because that's not the mission. And then it's all these white people that basically want to destroy cruise tourism. Shirley Ralston's people have been here since the beginning of time. Shirley Ralston's a white Caymanian. You're telling me that Shirley Ralston, who in my mind is one of the bravest people on this rock and should be a national hero, when you mark the card of 5 people that you don't like because they are environmentalists in the true sense, and you start playing the race card, there's no reason to continue the conversation. If you think about it, we never had a debate with them because that was a decision that I made and I felt strongly about. We will not legitimize that level of ignorance because that brings nothing to the mission. And what it did was, the more they couldn't get attention, the darker they went. And I'm like, we're going to actually win this. We're not going to spend any money because we had no money to spend. They were given private sector support.
You know what was so funny is that both sides said the same thing. CPR said they had no money. ACT said they had no money. I was like, how can both y'all have no money?
The money that we get is $500 from you, $500 from you. Government.
And then ACT said they only got small donations. I was like,
listen to me. The moral of the story is Kenneth Bryan would be in the government today if Kenneth Bryan had read the tea leaves and understood that the timing of his proposed referendum was just wrong. And then for him to promote somebody like Elio and the other, real malcontents who they just want to argue. They don't want to have a discussion about anything factual. They just want to be, you're evil and you're white and you're rich and you're this and what. Bro.
When you're not, you feel like obviously they weren't touching on the substance.
Why am I going to legitimize that? Well, Johann, no, it got even better. Well, you're an Uncle Tom and you're a sellout. Okay. I'm an Uncle Tom and I'm a sellout. Okay, you're entitled to your opinion. Now, I definitely don't have to address you for anything in life, Elio, Austin, ACT, or any of them, because anybody that tells you the cruise line's going to build this for us and we're not going to have to pay for it, really? That's like the tooth fairy. If you believe that, you believe in the tooth fairy and Santa Claus all at the same time.
Something I saw that was quite disappointing, and Caymanians on both sides of the issue, and we can disagree on that. There was an outcome. The people voted. Both sides wanted there to be, well, one side pushed for the referendum real hard, but both sides agreed the referendum was here, and the people spoke quite substantially. It was 60-some percent.
64%.
And I don't think anybody can even remotely say that, well, maybe there's some ambiguity. No, you can't. That's clear. After that, I can't remember how I got it, but I had a screenshot from one of the groups there that were pro-port after the election. And because your brother's establishment hosted the welcome party, there were people inside that group, and this really disappointed me that we could behave like this towards each other, that were like acting like, well, it doesn't seem that your brother wants or is interested in having any business there from cruise, so let's not support him. And I'm like, why do we have to stoop to that level? Like, you had your belief, I had mine, we took it to the people, and that was the outcome. Why are you going to be sour about it?
Because some people are ignorant, some people are myopic, and some people are just imbeciles.
That...
bad mind run things, bro.
Well,
bad mind run Cayman.
I mean,
that's
like,
how it is.
I mean, I shouldn't be surprised, but I was just like,
you want to believe otherwise.
I hate to see it, right? We're both Caymanians on the side. I'm still going to see people that were pro-port. I have friends that were pro-port, right? I have friends that were not pro-port, well, they were anti-port, and does that mean that I'm gonna, not talk to them now? On either way, should I expect them to, if I told them my position and they won, should I stop talking to them? Like we can disagree and we can still be friends afterwards. And I hate to see that we got to the level that we did, because it did get nasty during the campaign. And I saw the memes that were made. I saw the little cartoons that went out, and those were distasteful in my opinion.
Listen, I'm bigger than any.
I'll get off
I'm
the tree. No?
I'm just saying that whatever your position is, argue your position. Don't argue the personality. Right? If the best you could do is call me an Uncle Tom, you've already lost. That means you have nothing of substance to talk about in your campaign as to why you support this thing.
Well, were you?
I look at straight numbers, bro.
So you obviously have a lot of ties to the business community through whether it be your brother and your father, right? When you took the position that you did, were there people in that circle that you knew that were like, Johann, what the hell are you doing?
I don't give a shit about what they think, to be honest with you. That's what liberates me. Like, my father's position is, we've got interest in town. How could you take this position? I go, and my.
Oh, I didn't even know that was.
No, but my response was, love you to death, but you're going to move on at some stage. We all pass, and I'm going to be left paying some type of tax for something we couldn't afford. And Nico and Nathan are going to be left paying that tax as well. And, I just look at numbers, dude. Like that, numbers don't lie.
So the Sunday dinners change forever?
Listen, Luigi's a fantastic. Luigi's restaurant sells the best local food in Georgetown by far. That
coconut rundown. I told you last night.
No, it's Luigi.
I told you last night.
We hungry. I'm hungry, Luigi.
What did I tell you last night?
You did.
I told you that coconut rundown, and this is not a paid endorsement, none of that. That is in my top 3.
All right, we'll stop then.
Yeah, stop.
That is in my. I don't give a shit. That is in my top 3 dishes that in Cayman. Period.
Let's go get some after this.
Let's do it. All right. So yeah, with that being said,
Zilla.
Steve, you good?
Yeah, man.
Got the glasses off now, man.
Glasses off. It get hot up in your man.
Your little team today, man. So
yeah. But again, thanks for bringing me in on this one.
The jack, you threw me off, bro. I couldn't take you serious. Glasses, man.
So Steve 2029?
Nah, I know.
You Jamaican, remember?
Yeah, I can run.
You could take some pointers from your boy.
I support my guy, man.
You could take some pointers on how to maneuver.
No. That's not. I know my role. I'm a great number 2. I support my people. I'm not gonna make you get no trouble if I see you doing foolishness. I gotta yank you back and say, yo, you the guy, simmer yourself.
All right.
Simmer yourself. I am your guy. If you want a ride or die, I'm your guy.
In the shirt.
Yeah.
Number 2, that's a good role to play, man. Johann, thank you for joining us today.
No. Thank you guys. This has been great. You guys do a fantastic job. Thanks for the invitation, Zilla.
Don't know me yet.
Huh?
Yeah. One blood.
2029, Zilla and I are forming a party.
Yeah, we want some donations for the 2029 campaign. We want everything come before.
Yeah.
Because we're not declaring that stuff.
Before we
got
leave,
plumbing to put in.
One thing I love about Steve is that almost every morning we get a voice note, and it is of some chill, laid back, either some Bob or something there. Steve is just riding to like 6 a.m.
Hold on, I thought you just said that to me.
I spread love. I'm inspired by Jah to spread knowledge, wisdom, and love all around.
Please
and I do that.
Please take off my shirt. Don't send me no message tomorrow.
You see what low slips cause you? Low slips.
Here, try and big up the man. And then a friendship though.
Yeah, with that being said, thank you guys for rocking with us. Where my cameras, D? I don't even know anymore. It's been one of those days. We hope you enjoyed this as much as we enjoy making this for you. So you know the routine. If you're in traffic, you're doing dishes, you're at work, watching us on YouTube, watching us on the Compass, we appreciate it. Hopefully we'll be back same time, same place next week. You know where to find us on IG, Instagram, @PodLinkUp. You've been listening to the Link Up Podcast.